So what do I mean by saying that paragraphs are invisible? If they're actually invisible, what's the point of learning how to write them well? But that's the thing. A well-written paragraph is so solid and seamless that it delivers information to the reader without the reader even noticing that the paragraph is there. If you've read a book, you've read paragraphs, and you could probably describe your favorite book to me in great detail without ever mentioning the form of a paragraph. For most kinds of writing, paragraphs are just a unit that helps us move through the story or move through the narrative without us even noticing it. They're a unit of writing that creates sustained, cohesive written arguments. And this is part of why paragraph structure is one of my favorite things to talk about in the Writing Center, because they're a necessary form in writing that has a set of skills and habits that you learn once and then practice continually. So you get a lot of bang for your buck when you really put energy into writing good paragraphs intentionally. So let's define what we mean by paragraph. Like I said, they're a unit of writing that becomes the building block for developing those sustained, structured arguments. They're an ordered, unified group of sentences that develops one topic or subject. They're made out of facts and original commentary on those facts. And for a ballpark estimate of their length, they're about 150 to 225 words long. If you're looking at a double-spaced typewritten page of text and there are no line breaks to start a new paragraph on that page, that's a good sign that your paragraph is too long. There's a good chance that you've changed topic somewhere on that page, and the new topic will deserve its own paragraph. So for contrast, there are a few recurring observations that I make often in student writing that kind of warrant a brief discussion about what paragraphs are not. So first, paragraphs are not just one sentence. One sentence or even two sentences are not enough to stand on their own as a paragraph. You might be able to get away with 3 sentences, but that's cutting it close. It's not that this is an objective rule that there have to be a certain number of sentences in a paragraph, but it's related to that principle that a paragraph is a fully formed unit of argument with both fact and commentary. And you'll need multiple complete sentences to do that. The key word here is complete sentence. Paragraphs are not just a list of sentence fragments. They're more than just the information that you included in your outline. They're also not just a collection of unrelated thoughts or thoughts in an illogical order. Paragraphs in academic writing are also not just direct quotes or just opinion. And lastly, with the possible exception of forum posts or abstracts, paragraphs are not an entire section of an argument. They're just the building blocks of that argument. So keep these basics in mind as you work through the rest of boot camp this week. And remember that perfecting your paragraphs is maybe the biggest favor that you can do for your writing, even more than working on grammar.